Our journey begins on Jungle Island, where all the monkeys are peacefully strolling outside. I live in Arizona, can't relate, you burn to death the second you leave your home.
Oh boy, this is going to be the best January 16th, 2025 of all time! I get to play Donkey Kong Country Returns! Returns! Nothing is ever going to top this momentous occasion! Fourth time will be the charm, I guess.
You'll spend some time driving around with the car all Demolition Derby style until you smash down a bridge when a radio turns on and starts playing the game's official theme song.
Say that you a lesbian, girl, me too.
Wait, no, that's not the one. And there's also a separate camera you could buy so that you too can green screen yourself into your poor performances.
Hey guys, it's me, and I'm really excited to have you all, my best friends, here today to bask in my awesome Mario Kart abilities. So, as you can see, I am not fit to live in Iowa.
Sure, you have continues if you lose too many lives, but using one will reset your score back to 0. So my advice is to stock up on your potassium intake and inject as many Dole brand bananas as possible into your veins. That's not even a joke either. Sega actually partnered up with Dole to put their branding on every banana in the game, even having a stage dedicated to the logo. Selling out before the age of DLC and microtransactions, truly the Sega way. I don't know anybody who would fall for such a stupid and sleazy tactic like that. This tastes like curry. This is Kendrick Lamar if he was a good rapper. However, if I had to pick a favorite minigame today, I'd probably give it to Book Squirm. This one gets awarded its flowers all the time, and considering most gamers would never pick up a book in their lives, that's saying something. I admit that part of this problem is likely on me, since most of my time playing Ultimate was spent with penguin claws, serving Gordo Cola to every naughty boy on Christmas. I main King DDD because 1, his hammer is immensely powerful when you manage to land a good hit with it. 2, his air game and movement speed are really solid for a heavyweight, so I can space out my opponents while landing heavy hits when I need to, and still recover from big attacks at nearly 200%. And 3, his level of sexiness is too powerful for even the straightest man like me to resist. The pockets will determine how many bases you move or if you just get out, although you can still get out just by running into the fielders. And the jump boards will net you an instant home run as the monkey goes flying into the sky. I wonder how folks outside the field would react to such an event. The hills are alive with the sound of monkeys falling at 400 miles per hour. I also just love how dramatic the deaths are when you fail. New record! You killed the shy guy! You're going to jail! Man, no wonder he didn't speak to me when I entered the party cube. He knows where the body is hiding. Hey everybody. I just got back from the hospital. I'm currently recovering from surgery. I got my left kidney removed. It was a very healthy kidney, and the doctor said that those are going for a lot of money right now. So I figured that I would just sell it so that I can easily pay off the right to play Super Mario Party Jamboree with a camera. I figured that would be a fair trade. I especially like the fact that if you win, you can aim your glove at the front of the screen and the camera will react to you punching it. They didn't need to include this at all, but the fact that they did is so charming. Now, I'm not going to scrape over every single talking point in the Direct. It's better to just watch it yourself to get caught up to speed, and odds are you already have. I'm mainly going to go over the major stuff that will affect the game at large and how I'm feeling about them. Number 1, Sakurai says the game is basically just like Mario Kart. I'm deducting 50,000 points from his social credit score for genre racism. Number 2, I'm glad to see that the core gameplay formula is staying intact, mainly focusing on one-button controls. I know that not everybody found that appealing in Kirby Air Ride, but that's what made it so unique at the time and even today. Though he did make clear that they, in his own words, unfortunately added a second button to the mix.
I don't know, guys. I'm not sure how these other buttons work. Does this one give me free Pizza Hut? No way! They sent me Papa John, so I had to file a restraining order. Oh hey everybody, I'm just having myself a nice hearty bunch of bananas since I've recently been following the words of the great I the Monkey, an absolutely phenomenal philosopher, with his most famous quote being, "I really love bananas." And people wonder why Aristotle has been so quiet since then.
The next quote-unquote game is shown off, that being Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. This is just a cute little museum-like instruction guide showing off everything the Switch 2 can do. It provides video tutorials, as cute little tech demos, it's a paid download. It's a paid download.
Yeah, you can look at the menu for our restaurant for only $3, and here. Another $2 because I spit on it since I know you like themes so much.
Oh boy, can't wait to see 10,000 new anime games during the new Nintendo Direct.
Let's go! Welcome to Voice of Cards.
I'm getting exactly what I expected.
Race as familiar Final Fantasy characters like Chocobo and Gilgamesh.
I sure do hope they don't put overpriced microtransactions in a full-priced game. You see, this is why you always lower your expectations before going to something like this, because then you can never be truly disappointed.
According to Google, totalitarianism is a system of government that is centralized, dictatorial, and requires complete subservience to the state. But I think that's just an AI-generated definition. What it actually is the Super Monkey Ball 2 level where you have to avoid getting crushed by giant rings on pillars. I swear, people try to force politics into everything these days. Oh, and shoutouts to URL in particular. A stage that was only made to advertise Amusement Vision's website that doesn't even exist anymore.
I can't wait to play the next Super Monkey Ball game where they try to sell me on the BlackBerry smartphone. Surely that won't die in 2 or 3 years' time.
Mario Party 4 was the first entry on the GameCube, releasing on October 21st, 2002 here in North America, and later that year everywhere else. And considering that the GameCube was my first video game console, naturally this installment would be my entry to hell. Clearly the ads paint the game that way.
Mario Party 4. Because it's not a party until something gets broken.
And that's the reason why the dinosaurs went extinct.
It's easy to miss too, but looks like they're bumping up the player count per race to 24 people. And I really hope the items are balanced to accommodate for that. The items in Mario Kart Wii in particular were far too chaotic to make for a smooth 12-player game from my experience. You double that, and I can already see the kitchen bursting into flames if not handled responsibly. And of course, there's the air ride machines themselves, and there's not much I can say about the returning ones, other than if the rocket star doesn't do the honking sound when you fail the boost, I'm going to resort to Switch 2 grift posting. Oh, and he also has the hots for Mimi for some reason, and demands her hand in marriage, even attempting to give her a massage while stuck inside of a whale.
This man's the personification of a forum mod having to put up with the consequences of their actions.
And that isn't even the most unhinged part. He later shrinks all the monkeys with a laser beam, and then threatens to cook them alive if Mimi doesn't say yes to the marriage, prompting her to fly up into his nostrils, making him sneeze them all away.
They're gonna need at least a dozen baths to clean all that off. Oh yeah, did I mention that he takes a bath after that? You know, I take back what I said about the forum mod thing, because that would imply that they clean themselves, but still, Sega, censor this! There are kids watching!
And now that my dream character made it into Ultimate, and my other dream character by technicality, I am more than willing to welcome all potential new fighters. Yo, so does this mean we get to be respected again?
No!
worth a shot. Oh, hi there. My name is Matthew Smart, and I'm currently in the middle of searching for a good vacuum cleaner online. My home hasn't been looking the best as of late, and I've been meaning to put some dust bunnies out of their misery. If only there was a contextually convenient ad that would direct me to a good website. Huh, it's just like movie magic. Ah, the Kirby Avalier 2, known for its powerful cleaning performance, industry-leading airflow, and handcrafted aluminum construction. Who said dreams can't come clean? Let me just go ahead and check their prices and... I guess this one will have to do. Slime Time was my favorite as a kid because I just found the giant blobs you were stuck to kind of adorable. It's the little things that comfort you amongst the frustrating button mashing. So because of that, I actually got to play the master stages this time around, and my goodness, they are not kidding when they use that word. Yeah, as it turns out, controlling a sphere on rotating spherical objects is basically what happens when you combine Coke and Mentos. A trail of disaster. And then on top of that, they decide to add extra stages to Master Mode as well, just to ensure I don't leave without some battle scars.
You know, it's times like this where you just sit back and reflect on your life, and you think to yourself, man, I could have done so many amazing things with my time. I could have become an astronaut, or a firefighter. I could have started my own business. I could have traveled around the world. I could have just spent quality time with friends and family. But instead, I'm out here chucking innocent babies into the stratosphere. Like a true American patriot. Okay, look, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm special for coming to this revelation.
Hey guys, did you know that the sky is blue? But yeah, we need to talk about these prices, because unless you live like Philip Banks, be prepared to starve on the way to the GameStop.
You big-eared freak!
It's because of this game that I became a Mario fan and a gaming fan as a whole. And now the game that made me the person that I am is 20 years old, with the GameCube itself being 21. Yep, you heard me correctly. The GameCube can legally drink now. Now, the GameCube was my first video game console, and I was still young enough at the time to have my parents decide what video games would best appeal to me. And I remember my mom buying me this game because she knew that I was stimulated by simple and colorful things, and she thought the game looked very cute and harmless. But little did she know that this simple game would cause her son to enter a never-ending spiral of insanity that he has yet to recover from, all because he tried to master this stupid monkey game for years on end. So let's talk about it and have some fun, shall we? Speaking of running into each other, you can literally kick other riders off of their machines now if they're about to be destroyed.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been legit.
We then move on to the Joy-Cons, a Matthew Smart's worst enemy only behind the croutons and salad bowls. I really can't stand the Joy-Cons on the Switch, and that's with and without the drift controversy.
Slide to the left.
But easily the worst crime that Deluxe makes is that they removed the dull branding from the bananas. How am I supposed to enjoy my Super Monkey Ball game without my duel? And after you finish all 3 boards and think you're finished with this nightmare, this scumbag introduces an extra hard mode that places Gordos everywhere. So now I have to go through the pain and suffering all over again and waste all of my money by doing so, while this circus music keeps playing on loop. It just makes me want to strangle this man with every fiber of my being! Oh, he gave me 3 rare stones for beating it. That's worth a whole evolved ability. Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Screw you anyway. You should've just brought checkers. The other catch is the Wheel of Danger. You'll spin this wheel before every round, and depending on what it lands on, there may be a hazard that spawns that you'll have to deal with, such as a thick fog, spiked balls that flow in the air, or bombs that will explode and send you flying if you touch them. Rest in peace to baby. He was a good baby. One of the best, in fact. Some would even say he was super. But deep down, we all know that he was indeed grown-up monkey like us. All hail our glorious baby overlord watching down on us from the great beyond. Wait, why is that banana heading towards me? Wait, oh gosh, no, run!
Get back to reality.
We end this direct with 2 more Nintendo games, the first being a new Kirby game. That's nice, it's been 3 years since Forgotten Land came out, which is pretty long for Kirby, so it's cool to see him back in the spotlight. I'm cured! As soon as we get to World 2, the plot goes from, I want bananas, to, I put a bomb inside of a volcano to sink the island. I knew something was missing from Wii Sports Resort. Come to think of it actually, the counter is just more proof that Sora is the definition of everything a typical Smash player hates. Because if I know 4 things that Smash players hate the most, it's anime characters, sword fighters, counters, and respecting children's boundaries. Above all else though, the reason I love these missions so much is because I get to save so many adorable creatures while doing so. You can shove as many inanimate objects of power down my throat as you want, but they will never compete with rescuing silly little apple juice enjoyers like Waddle Dees. I will be there in a jiffy to make sure they're okay. Hello?
Hey Matthew, this is your brother. I got into a car crash and I'm currently in the hospital with 6 broken bones.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I hope you get better.
Aren't you gonna come see me?
No, that's your burden to bear. Hello?
Hey Matthew, the Waddle Dees in your local area are in danger!
Get the squad ready! It's waddling time! But there's also a handful of exclusive single-player minigames all about trying to nail high score, and these are actually pretty fun. These include a more elaborate photo finish, playing 50-50 with Bowser, avoiding the enemies, becoming the enemy, and living a day in Arizona. So living a day is me. Next is Monkey Dogfight. You know, I was watching Top Gun Maverick in the theaters and was thinking, this is great and all, but why aren't the missiles pineapples? I'll take 20. There's lots of cool upgrades like this. Dragonfire, Toy Hammer, Pencil Drill, Storm Tornado, Space Ranger! Bro, let's go!
Buzz Lightyear! The world's greatest superhero, now the world's greatest!
So what is Mario Party? That's like asking what's World War III. We open with a cutscene that shows the Mario crew just going about their day in a field that looks like it came pre-made with the engine, when something scary comes from the sky. A giant gift bag! See, I told you it was World War III. Sorry everyone, I know it's old news at this point, but I'm still just so excited that Costco has had their $1.50 hot dog for over 40 years now, and is still $1.50 to this day. Inflation refuses to claim one of the greatest dishes in American history. Oh, and Kirby Air Riders being a thing is pretty cool too, I guess. I would like to paint this picture in your head that will bring war flashbacks to numerous Monkey Ball players. Expert, Floor 7. What is this stage? Who is this stage? And why is this stage? You start out by going up a steep hill, followed by a turn with a 90-degree slant with very little wiggle room to build up speed to make it up. Then you have to go down a thin flight of stairs, followed by a checkered floor that's just begging for you to fall through it. And finally, you have to make it across a long, narrow, curved path in order to reach the goal. All within 60 seconds. Let me remind you that this is Floor 7 in a 50-stage campaign, and most of the later stages aren't nearly as stressful as this one. The funny thing is, this was originally intended to be one of the secret master stages, but then the employees at Amusement Vision said that God hates you and wants you to suffer. This stage is brutal and unfair for such an early part of the expert run, and made so many children, myself included, put down the game long before conquering it. How I managed to beat it on my first try while recording for this video, I will never know, but I think you get my point. The Mega Mushroom makes you grow giant and gives you 2 dice blocks to roll instead of 1, or 3 if you're using the super version. And if you pass another player, you squish them and steal 10 coins from them. That, in concept, is cool. It gives into my primal urge to squash the souls of the innocent. That being said, my personal favorite world is easily the third one, when Daria Remains. It takes place at an amusement park with tons of stuff to do, like ride a roller coaster, drive through a racetrack, gawk at a giant light parade, and explore a haunted house. Nope, I'm out! So at that point, I didn't care. Nothing could hurt me anymore. They could have thrown in a frickin' Uniracer, and I wouldn't even flinch. The direct ends off with a teaser of this mysterious biker that's yet to be revealed. Is this a character from the series past? Is it a brand new creation? Are they part of a new story mode? Are they the secret to why Top Ride wasn't shown? Is that even in the game? Am I even in the game? Am I even real? In a last-ditch effort, Dr. Bad Boon goes to space to shoot a massive laser that'll make all bananas taste like curry forever. So that explains my irritable bowel syndrome from last time. And they were serious about this franchise, as they released 11 different titles across both consoles and handhelds, all within 9 years. You'd think that caused stagnation super quickly, but no, each game did really interesting things to shake up the formula. For example, this one's about dreams, this one's about the time of day, and this one's about how Mario doesn't skip leg day. And hey, there are still notable Switch games to look forward to for now for those that don't make the upgrade. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be incredible, easily the most gorgeous game I've seen from Nintendo. And whether you play it on the Switch or Switch 2, I'm sure it will stick the landing. Tomodachi Life coming back is a huge deal. I loved that game a lot on the 3DS. For about 2 weeks before it got boring, so hopefully living the dream will be a far more substantial experience. Pokemon... Rhythm Heaven Groove is everything I could ever want. I love Rhythm Heaven so much. I thought it would never come back, but it's here and it looks so good. The music is sounding spectacular. Ah! In conclusion, I love Nintendo, but if they asked me to tip them at a restaurant, my response would be to